We are still members of PDP and we are going nowhere, but we work for ADC. We adopted Wike's style of politics, Senator Tambuwa speaks. Hello viewers and welcome to InfoGist TV. The entire PDP structure in Yobe State has moved to ADC, leaving only the national chairman, Umar Damagun, in the party. Now, the question remains, who will step down for the other? This is the key question a political analyst, Professor Okeke tries to answer in an interview as the anti-Tinubu coalition moved into the African Democratic Congress (ADC) last week to confront the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) in the 2027 polls. No fewer than three top members of the coalition have indicated interest in picking the presidential ticket of the alliance, and there could be more as we inch closer to the 2027 general elections. The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar ranks high on the list. Mr. Pdp'S and Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi is also in the race. As they have said, they will spend only one term if given the ticket and elected president in the 2027 elections. Obi and Amechi's position aligns with the agitation that the South should remain in power until come 2031, when it is expected to shift to the north. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu also is Southerner, like Obi and Amechi, who finished his first term in 2027 and is warming up to contest for his second term. Ikechukwu, who is the executive director of the Development Specs Academy, asks the coalition to prepare to fight as the people they will face in 2027 are tough, citing the monumental demarketing of President Goodluck Jonathan and the People's Democratic Party (PDP) ahead of the 2023 polls by them. He warns that the Obidient movement risks repeating the mistakes of 2023 if it continues to rely on online popularity rather than building real political structures on the ground. He described the reinstatement of Senator Samuel Anyanwu as the PDP National Secretary as a decision that could further alienate members in the southeast. The analyst also speaks on the rumors defection of Governor Mba of Enugu from the PDP. Well, this is the question. The PDP said it reinstated Senator Samuel Anyanwu as the National Secretary to save the party from implosion. Do you think what the PDP declared on Monday was a big victory? Well, it might turn out to be at the end of the day, but the question of the party imploding, it already imploded long before now. The critical issue on the table is the choice of Anyanwu and then the submission from Southeast Caucus that Anyanwu is not their candidate. Question number one, is this new in the PDP or in any of the political parties? The answer is no. If you think back to 2019, Atiku contested for the office of president under the PDP with Peter Obi as his running mate. The same reactions you are getting now is the reactions you got from Southeast. If you recall, after Peter Obi was chosen by Atiku, there was a press conference by those who called themselves Southeast stakeholders within the party. That group was led by, I think, then Governor Dave Umahi. They addressed Nigerians that this is not our choice. But the candidacy or choice of P2B stood despite that. That reaction was based, I think, on the assumption or the understanding behind the scenes that Ekweremadu was going to be the candidate. And if you recall, the feelers from the PDP was that nobody knew this was coming and that Atiku made the announcement and fled the premises. The other point to note is that you asked about whether it would be a Pyrrhic victory. Remember that in 2019 elections, Peter Obi got majority votes in the southeast, but those who voted for him made sure that Buhari also got 25% of the vote, which he needed in order to win. So it is for them to ask themselves the question, what we are doing now, what will it deliver to us? But more importantly, you may have a party caucus that is also not on ground. The challenge is for Anyanwu to prove that he is the big boy those supporting him think he is. If he is the big boy, if he has clout, but his brothers and sisters do not want him, let him show that. Now, let's place some facts on the principle on the table and then come to the matter of the general politics. In principles, you cannot challenge a political party for taking a position on any issue, but from the matter of building party cohesion and synergy and giving everybody a sense of belonging, it would make sense to say, look, If you're choosing somebody from my family, I should be the one to say this is the person I want to represent us in the village square, so I can understand the Kaku's concern. But take that concern even further back to the time of Obasanjo. Most of the Senate presidents chosen when the Southeast had the presidency, were they really the candidates of the Southeast? Probably except one. So those are the things to consider. As for implosions, the PDP imploded long ago, and I'll give you the reason for it. Think of the re-entry of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar into the PDP, and he got the ticket, and how many people got annoyed, and how very powerful politicians in the north said, okay, he has got the ticket, let us see how he's going to win the presidency. That party is trying to pretend that it still has an identity. It is trying to pretend that the NEC can actually take binding decisions. It is trying to pretend that it can control its membership when nobody can control Yusumike. So this party would participate in the 2027 elections, but I doubt that it will contest. And what that means is if you are contesting with me for a gunfight and you come with a catapult, you're participating. You're not contesting, because the contest is to be prepared and equipped to win. The party is not poised to win that election at the level of strategy, at the level of cohesion, at the level of building internal democracy, and at the level of making all the regions feel they belong. The issue in the Southeast will mean that those who are angry will engage in anti-party activities. These are the challenges and dangers the PDP should contemplate and navigate now that it has taken the decision that it has to be Senator Anyanwu or nobody. Now, when asked another question, that considering the speculations that Mr. Pdp'S of Enugu State might be the next governor to decamp to the APC, the emergence of the coalition and how they have adopted the ADC, bringing in disgruntled PDP members and the P2B effect and the stronghold that he has in the Southeast, where do you see the dice falling? He said, you cannot have a coalition of people who are not only disgruntled, but all of them have had very disturbing relationships with each other in the past, have ideological differences, and there are also nearly all of them angling for the position of the presidency, who will step down for the other. Secondly, all this talk about coalition, apart from Abuja, Lagos, and maybe press releases, what efforts are being made at the levels below the national, even the periphery of the national, to create some kind of understanding, some kind of building backwards, and say, let's go to our party members in the states, tell them it is our interest to do this. They want to form a coalition at the top and with it rule Nigeria. This is the problem. The problem number one. The problem number two is, look at the relationship between nearly all of them. Remember that El-Rufai has the challenge of the Muslim ticket. Then Babachi Lawal is a die-hard Christian. Many people think that Atiku Abubakar should step down. Rotimi Amechi is on the table, and some of us are not entirely sure what he brings to that table. David Mark is there also, a two-time Senate president with a lot of clothes. Picture a room where all of them are sitting together to form a government for Nigeria. How will the conversation go? What are the policy issues they will bring up? They are likely to discuss positions, who will be the vice president. It is not about development, even though the intention on the table, on the pretext, is development. Their concern is to remove the APC government. Now, supposing, for instance, in doing this, they are telling us this is what we want to put on the table once we get rid of the APC. You see, there will be a basis of conversation, but to sound very angry, to tell us Nigerians, all of us are suffering. We know that, including those who are telling us that we are suffering. What do we intend to do about it? What are the alternative policies? What are the strategies they are putting in place? The parties in which you are today, they are doing well. Are they doing well? Is there internal democracies in those parties? These states where your party is governing today, all those states where they are governing, are they doing well? Are the governors exceptional? Once you consider all of these, I look at the whole coalition talk with a lot of pessimism, for the simple reason that whereas it would be wonderful for them to replace APC by whatever name they choose to call the party, the question I ask myself is, are they really preparing to do that? There is a difference between engagement and strategic engagement. You want to deal with the rain and a leaking roof. Are you bringing only buckets? You're not thinking of replacing the roof. They are not being strategic. And the profiles of the individuals involved present in a double-barrel negative challenge for all of them. They should prepare for a fight if they are serious. I do not see them serious, and I do not see them being sufficiently strategic to do that. Now, going back to Mba's defection, Peter Mba's defection is a possibility. Could that make people say, oh, this man is not reliable? Yes, they can say that. But I will also ask, Is ideological conversation possible? Yes. Do defections occur in political parties? Yes. Do some of us like it? No. Does it remove the fact that somebody can do it? It doesn't. If you do not want him to defect, give him reasons not to defect. If somebody is going to defect from your party, why is he doing so? What is the problem with your party? Why is he moving? If you can prevent him, first of all, admit your own shortcomings that are making people vacate your own address. On Obi's effect, the third point is that P2B's factor, yes, P2B is very popular, not only to the southeast but also to all over the federation. The obedient movement is strong and powerful and even growing stronger. But as I keep telling the movement, there are no polling booths on the internet. There are no polling booths on Facebook or Instagram. Polling booths are in specific local locations and they have to be manned by party agents. That's the fact number one. The fact number two is, are the Labour Party or the Obedience, are both of them together building any kind of cohesion such that there is a progressive development of ideological purity, group cohesion, meetings, encounters leading to development of structures at the group level? I'm not seeing it. Finally, on P2B's fact Obedient, I've argued convincingly and correctly that, look, we have proven a lot of people wrong. They say that without structures, you cannot win elections in Nigeria. But without structure, see all the votes we got in Lagos, see all the votes we got all over the country. Fantastic. But there is an Igbo saying that if the person who uses a mousetrap sets a mousetrap in order to catch a chimpanzee, the trap will actually catch the chimpanzee. But you know the problem. The hunter will neither come home with his trap nor the meat of a chimpanzee. You got all the votes, no question about that. You won Lagos, I believe you. Did those votes come into your pockets? No. Why? If you know the answer to that question, are you doing anything about it? Look, they are just wasting the time they need to prepare for the next elections in speech making, in self-adulations, and in what you might call conversations that are not going further down. They are wasting the potential and possibility of that movement. Stay tuned.